Should you buy a Kindle? Why? Why not? Do buy it. Go do it. Before I jump into the video, I want to say that I have links down below to places where you can educate yourself, sign petitions, or find funds to donate to support the Black Lives Matter movement and the protests against police brutality. We need to keep sharing this message, internalizing this message, educating ourselves, and do whatever that is in our power to be anti-racist citizens of the world. Please do check out the resources down below. I'll keep sharing them throughout all my foreseeable videos, and I hope you enjoy this video too. Let's get started. Hello guys, it's Talia, and today I want to talk about how this little guy changed my reading journey. I want to talk about all the pros and cons that this little guy brought into my reading journey. I've had this Kindle for over a year now. My dearest friends got it for me as a birthday present when I was going off to college because they know how attached I am to my books, and I couldn't carry my whole library all the way across the world, so they got me this little one, and I'm so thankful for it. Without rambling on much further, let's jump into the video. I want to start with a pro, and that is the obvious fact that this is so much easier to carry around. In college, oh my goodness, that backpack gets so heavy. That backpack is all of your life attached to your back, and it was crucial for me to carry as little as possible because you lug it around for 8+ hours every day, and I could not. My body was not having it. This little guy saved me. This also helps with traveling because who wants to lug around many books with them when they're flying somewhere? You can just have this, save a couple of good reads, and spend your plane ride reading it. Now I want to jump to a con. I am a very old school reader. I feel so nostalgic when I read books, and especially if they're old and they smell a certain way and the pages, like, it's obvious that they have been read by someone caring and someone took notes in it, and I can just do this and feel that whiff of book smell on my face. I cannot put into words how much that affects me, and also seeing how much I've read, like moving through pages, helps me so much because when you hit that slump, some books have it, you know what I'm talking about, that 50 to 70 pages that is just too damn difficult to get through. If you see your movement through the pages, it just gives me a little bit of encouragement, and I persevere and I get through the slump and I keep reading. But when I'm doing it with a Kindle, especially with big books, you can't have that satisfaction of like plowing through pages because you can only tell by the percentage that's on the right hand corner, and if it's a particularly big book, you click through so many pages and that percentage does not budge. This is so nitpicky, and I'm sure you're thinking, what the heck is this lunatic talking about? But it's true. I hope some of you guys share my feelings about this and I'm not that weird. But in all fairness, I could be. Going to a pro of the Kindle. If I don't particularly enjoy a new book that I try, I don't have to think about what to do with the physical copy. I can just delete it from my Kindle, and that is it. And I like that flexibility in ebooks because not all my reads are perfect. I don't enjoy all of the books I read, and having a big library, especially as a student, moving around houses and dorms, it's not feasible, so I appreciate that aspect of the Kindle. Ooh, a great pro that comes to mind is reading in the dark, because if you have a physical book, you have to have a physical light to light up the pages so that you can freaking see the words. But Kindles actually adjust their light whether you're reading it in the daylight or at night, and you can see without having to shine a physical light on the pages that you're reading, which makes it so easy, especially when traveling, or if you're sharing a room, you have a roommate, you don't have to worry about keeping them up if you're reading at night, you know, being a good friend. Only other con I have on this list I actually mentioned, but this is, if you own a Kindle, reading is not a collector's game. You can see I changed my background. It's not ideal. There's a sofa here, but the lighting is good, so I don't have a bookshelf full of books behind me. Even though I'm at home, I don't collect books, especially after having my Kindle, and I'm starting to be okay with it, but it may not be for everyone because people like to have the beautiful copies of the books that they love, and they like the feeling of actually owning them. And I do think I would purchase a book that I dearly love, but I'm not a rereader. And if you're a rereader of a book, you might want to have the physical copy at hand, but you can still buy the physical copy after you read it for the first time in your Kindle, and that way you don't have to spend a lot of money on... Where was I? I freaking forgot! Okay, oh yeah. If you like to reread books that you like, then you don't have to invest in one book's physical copy your first time around. You can buy the Kindle copy and see if you enjoy it, and then buy the actual physical book, knowing that you like the book, which, you know, eases my commitment issues because I do have them. Speaking of different types of readers, I want to address the mood reader versus planned TBR, to be read list reader issue, and I think Kindles help both of those types of readers, because if you're a mood reader, you want to be able to switch in between books if you're not feeling one book. And if you don't have a large collection of books at home, then it might be difficult because, especially now that we can't go out, you have to order the book, wait for it to come, and your mood could change before that book even arrives at home, and then you don't know what to read. Owning a Kindle, you can purchase books and have them on your Kindle ready to read like that, and I have become much more a mood reader recently, so I have different types of books: fantasy, thriller, contemporary, historical fiction in my Kindle, and whatever I feel like reading that day, I can just flip through my books, flip through my library in this little thin fella, and read whatever I feel like reading. But moving on to the TBR reader, I feel like Kindles make those TBR goals so much easier to reach because you can carry your TBR around wherever you go. Think about it. You have like 12 books that you want to read in a time period, and you can just download each and every one of them, have them on your Kindle, carry it wherever you go with you, and if you have a chunk of time that you want to read something in, you can just flick through any of those books on your TBR and you can work towards those goals. So I think having a Kindle would help both of those types of readers. Let me know what type of reader you think you are, because I think at the beginning of the months I'm a very goal-oriented reader because I go through a lot of book lists and I'm like, okay, I want to read this one, and then throughout the month my mood just takes over. I deviated so much from my TBR this month, but it's okay. Do what you enjoy. Reading is supposed to be fun. One more con, though, to this delightful device. I like to go book shopping. I can spend my whole day just browsing through the shelves, taking notes of what books stood out to me, sit and read a couple of chapters from books, enjoy a cup of coffee in there, and that is just an incredible day in my book. But now we can't even go there, and buying books online just doesn't feel the same anyways, so that's not the biggest con on my mind. But if things were to go back to somewhat of a normal, that would be my biggest con reading Kindle books, because I love the feeling of like finding a book that you feel so excited about. I'm very sentimental about books, as you can tell. There is a certain move that's coming my way, and I am trying to get rid of everything except the books that I own, because I can't. I don't want to get rid of my books. Most of them have a special memory, and I remember vaguely like what part of my life I read them and what they made me feel, so I can't. Yeah. God, move on from your emotional drama. Okay. I want to end on a positive note, and that is we are being environmentally friendly with the Kindle, because we're not buying more and more books made of paper. This would obviously not apply to secondhand books, which I really enjoy shopping for, but this just takes it to a different level. You don't have to waste resources, but then that comes with not being able to support local bookstores adequately. So my point is, my list was all over the place, and I'm sorry for that. But I was so against owning a Kindle 1.5 years ago, and I'm sold now. I think there's a healthy balance between ebooks and physical books in a way that we can support our community and fulfill our attachments to owning and reading physical books, versus being able to expose ourselves to more and more reading material in a more virtual world and having more access to a lot of other books. I would say that if you want to invest in your reading, go ahead and buy a Kindle, because ultimately it helps through a lot of hiccups, and it does not mean that you cannot ever again buy physical books. If you feel like it, do it, but the Kindle gives you a good amount of flexibility in your journey, and I appreciated that. Thank you so much for watching my video, and as I said, I have a bunch of links down below, so please, please, please go check them out. Support the Black Lives Matter movement. We need to keep this going, and we need to be that change that we're like, someone should change something. No, we have to change something. So please go sign petitions, see if you can donate, share the message, and have a great day. Thank you for watching my video. Bye.